In this final lesson of the course, I'm going to wrap things up with your overall SEO strategy. Like, what do you do going forward? You've done some keyword research, you have a new site or your existing blog, you have some content ideas on your content plan, and you're starting to produce content. Maybe you're building links, maybe you're not. Then what? Now what? Well, here we are. Here's what you do going forward. A few things. Knowing which blog posts, current and future, are going to drive progress on your site. That's good information to have, and you should find that information every couple of weeks, every month, every couple of months, something like that. I'm going to go into how to measure and track that progress. What data do you look for, and how do you make those decisions on what to do with it? Like, what do I do with this data? And then take actions accordingly. So step number one in this, before you do anything, really, is defining your goals. What are your goals? Is it to get as much traffic as possible, regardless of the revenue? Is it to make money? If so, how? Like, are you going to sell your website? If so, you need to treat it differently, probably. What are your goals? This dictates your strategy. And more specifically, every single blog post has a goal. It should serve the broader strategy. If it doesn't serve your business goals, what's the point anyways? And here's a really good example. If you have, and I do, I'll show you some of my posts here in a second. I have some posts. This one gets 1,500 views in the past. This is like the past month or something. This one got 1,500 views and only makes like 2.84 page RPM for every 1,000 views. So what is that? Like, it made like $3 in the past month. Some of these other ones get less views, but they make $34 every 1,000 views. So I should do more of this type of content and less of this other one, because my goal is to make money from these views. Every single SEO post should be contributing to that. Just so you know. So what are your goals? Before you just decide to like double down on a topic or a strategy or whatever, you need to understand what you're going for. And you need to understand what data makes that happen. Speaking of which, measure your SEO progress and your goals. So, if you have an idea of which topics or projects or what your goals are, you got to figure out, like, now what, right? How do I measure the data? What am I looking for here, even? The big point. So, obviously, the main point of this, no matter what you're looking at, is understanding what's working and what's not. What works and what doesn't for my goals. Again, traffic, money, email list, anywhere in between. What's working and what's not. That's the bottom line. Now, past that, there's 2 or 3 data points that I recommend everybody track and measure. You're going to like measure different things than I do because your site's different, your goals are different or whatever, but there's 2 things really that are easy to track and that I think most everybody should. All right, the 2 metrics, rankings and traffic. Rankings obviously is where are my posts ranking? What's ranking in Google? And again, going back to the goals things, I want to harp on this. If a post is ranking number 1 in Google and not getting any traffic, that's a bad sign. So you can't just look at rankings. If your post is ranked number 1, but you're not making any money from it, what's the point? It's not contributing to your goals, even if it ranks number 1. But that said, again, the opposite. If a post is ranking on like rank 8 at the bottom of page 1 or something, but you are seeing some traffic, or it is making some money, or you see an opportunity there, that's obviously a good thing. My point is, track rankings, but it's not the be-all, end-all. The same thing with traffic, by the way, as we saw over here. Traffic, this other post up here, got some decent traffic. It made $3. This other post down here made way more money than that, but only got 586 views. So what is that divided by 2? It made $17. This post did better for my goals. It had less traffic. So the point is, rankings, important, but not the be-all, end-all. Traffic, obviously important, but it's not the be-all, end-all. It needs to contribute to your goals. So tracking rankings, I usually recommend, if you're a complete beginner, just do this once a month in like a spreadsheet. Every time you... I have a content database, by the way, which comes in the paid version of this course, the $3 version of this course. I have my revenue template and some tracking templates here. I recommend keeping a content database. Every time you hit publish, just throw the keyword in there, throw the URL in there, and once a month, just open up Google in a window like this and be like, can you take fountain pens on an airplane? Or whatever the keyword is. So pin Shelly, Goulet pins. I'm not ranking for this. That wasn't exactly the keyword, by the way, but whatever. Oh, there I am. I'm on like way down at the bottom, right? Are fountain pens allowed on planes? That was actually my keyword. I'm just going to try that just for the fun of it. Sorry, not sorry. All right. So not in the top 10, but I was down there. All right, I'm on page 2. Google knows my site exists, so that's a good thing at least. And you can do that for all your things. Or if you don't want to do it manually, I recommend if you pay for an SEO tool like SEMrush, Ahrefs, SE Ranking is what I use currently because I'm trying it out. I'm paying for it. Use that. But if you don't have any of those tools, SERProbot is actually really great. I like SERProbot, and it's super cheap. Like $3 a month cheap, $4 a month cheap. It's really cheap, and it works really well. It checks your rankings. It shows you what's changed. Where's my airplane thing? This is from like several months ago, so it's not accurate right now. But it's giving me the URL, when this was last updated, and what I'm ranking. That's a good thing to like notice. And what do you do with this information? Well, you think about your goals and which of these posts are getting you there. And you look, hey, Google is starting to rank my posts on inks, fountain pen inks. For whatever reason, I'm noticing a trend here that fountain pen inks are they're trending. Google's starting to rank those. Maybe I could double down on that if it suits my goals. Again, taking the data and asking what's working and what's not. Looking at your rankings for each individual post and thinking what's working and what's not. Same thing with traffic. So I just use Google Analytics. There's a few other options out there. We're right in the process at the time of this recording of switching over to Google Analytics 4, which is uber annoying. And I'm not an expert by any means, so I can't tell you how to switch over or set up GA4. Ugh, it's kind of a mess. But I will say the one thing that I look at more than anything else when it comes to analytics is pages. Which pages are driving traffic? And it's not always what you think. It's not always what you think. This isn't going to be very meaningful at all just because this is one of my example sites. Like this isn't my main niche site. But I will almost always pull up in this report, make sure that I get my like dates, last 28 days. That's generally what I go with. And I look through here and I'm like, what's getting traffic? What's getting traffic? And then I ask that question again. What's working and what's not? Towards my goals, right? This is getting traffic, but is it getting towards my goals? This is getting traffic, but is it getting me to my goals? This is getting traffic, and I'm seeing a trend here with this topic or this category or this subtopic. You're asking those questions as you're looking for this. And I generally do this like once a month too. I look at my rankings pretty closely like once a month. I look at my analytics pretty closely like once a month, just for like an hour or two. And I'm just asking those basic questions, which I'll get into in just a minute. I'll come back to this. I wrote some down right here. What pages are getting good traffic? What can I take away from that? Are there specific categories, topics, or types of content that perform better? What should I do differently to increase traffic and revenue? Like these are all very helpful questions to ask yourself once a month. And actually, just let me skip ahead because I'm talking about it. Okay, there we go. This is by far the most important thing in this video. If you track your rankings and your traffic and your revenue every month, once a month or more, after 6 months of blogging, whether it's a new blog or an existing blog, if you track those things, you will learn something. That's all I can really guarantee. You will. I can't tell you what you're going to learn, but you will learn something. If you're tracking stuff over time, I can guarantee that you will get some insights that will help you change direction, make a decision that leads to more growth and traffic and revenue. I can't tell you what it is. I don't know what you're going to learn, but if you track these metrics over time, you will learn something. It takes time. I can't tell you to look right now and learn something about your website. That's not the way it works. The way it works is tracking this stuff once a month, just for an hour or two, and then 6 months go by, and then you realize something. You learn something. You gain an insight that helps you figure out what's working and what's not. So I know that's kind of frustrating to hear, but that's the honest truth. You will learn something. Now, rankings and traffic, but also revenue. I recommend tracking your blog revenue, keeping a little basic income report. I'm actually redoing mine at the moment. I'm making it a little bit fancier just to include more sites. But I usually track page views, referring domains. I keep track of. I really don't know why. Total revenue, expenses. I also have a YouTube channel for this particular project, so I track YouTube views and subscribers, And I break out my revenue. Here's my Amazon affiliates. Here is my AliExpress affiliates. Here's my YouTube revenue. Here's my Ezoic revenue, which I've only been doing for a couple of months. And if I spend any money on this site specifically, not my overall expenses, which I track separately, SEO tools, hosting, morning fame, writers, that sort of stuff. But any site-specific expenses, I can't actually click. There we go. I'll track it in here. And again, I really just do this just to kind of keep track of things and see where I'm at for my goals. But I will share one more thing in this video, and that is, this is just me and Ezoic and ads, but really, I want to analyze things on a per post basis. I analyze rankings per post, I analyze traffic per post, I analyze revenue per post. And why I do this is to answer that question. What's working and what's not? And so I actually pulled this report about an hour ago. I usually come in here, and this is like all the posts on my site. This is all the blog posts on my site for the past like month at least. I will come in here, do a sort, do a filter, and then sort my highest RPMs. No, the wrong way. There we go. And I'd be like, ooh, what are these posts? Just these right here are above 30 RPMs. And one of them is actually getting a lot of traffic already. So this post right here is my moneymaker right now. How can I do more of that? Right? This one and this one have gotten thousands of page views over the past couple of weeks, and they have really high RPMs, like revenue per 1,000 visits. That's what RPMs is, by the way. So these are like my big money makers. And these other posts, I'm looking at like, okay, these have really high RPMs, but they don't have a lot of traffic. So I don't really know for sure. These here in the middle are like, I should do more of these too. These have enough hundreds of page views to kind of tell me like, oh, okay. So these are probably pretty accurate. $34, $33 RPMs. These are really great. I need to do more of these. Similarly, I'm looking at this like, what do these posts have in common? Right? Oh, these are like no traffic. But what was this one? Like, I really want to know what that one is. And this one that have like $7 RPMs, $3 RPMs. What's the deal with these posts? Not these ones with like one traffic. I don't care about those. But some of these have a little bit of traffic, but they're not making that much money. Why? And is there a theme here? Is there something in common that I could take away? I do that every month as well. All right, so I've already mentioned this, but I'll say it again. I can't tell you what to track for your business and your blog. I can't. I can tell you rankings and traffic and revenue is a good start. Looking at things on a per content basis, definitely a good start. But if you do this for 3 to 6 months, you will get some insights. I don't know what they are, but you will. You'll learn something. So there you go. I wish I could give you a formula or something really specific to look for all the time, but I can't. Excuse me. All right, so let's talk about an audit. This is a little bit more easy and technical stuff. I do this every 3 months. I used to do it every month, and then I just got lazy. So honestly, it's just fixing broken links and then fixing errors in Google Console, Search Console. That's it. Broken links, super easy. I use free ones. There's actually 3 or 4 that I use. This one's always my go-to just because it's first. You type your URL in here, pinhappy.com. You hit the enter key. You have to, security codes. I almost wish I was a robot. I don't know why I said that. That was silly. Anyways, this will find broken links on your site that you should go and fix. You linked out to some website that currently it changed. It doesn't exist anymore or something, and you need to go fix it. So this will give me like a list here. And there's never more than like 4 or 5 because I do this every couple of months. But I will open up the page, and then it says like page where found URL. Okay, so there's only one because this is just my example site. But on this about page, I'm linking to something that's broken, maybe. And this actually doesn't even look like a broken link, really. I don't know what that is. Doesn't matter. Sometimes you'll find pages. You just go to the URL on your site, you edit it, and fix the broken link. There you go. Search Console issues. I get them every month. Sometimes they go away on their own, which is why I don't do this more often. But every couple of months, I will go into Google Search Console and just go to the errors. It shows on the homepage in Search Console now. And I have no idea how to fix it. I'm just like, no, I can't tell you how to fix them because every error is like slightly different. But it's usually a quick Google search away, for one. And they usually give you some resources like, here's what this is. Here's what you can do. And then again, seriously, half of my errors do go away kind of on their own. It's magical. actually. And I don't know why they sent it to me in the first place, but whatever. And those that don't, I will come in here every couple of months and try and fix the errors. And that's all I do for my site audit. I don't do anything more than that. Big takeaways. Yeah, I do think this is important. I think analyzing your website is important to help you make decisions about what to do going forward, to grow more, to make more money. That's why we're all here. It's an ongoing, takes time sort of process, though. You create new content, first and foremost. That's the biggest driver of growth for any website. And you continue to clean your site, broken links, fixing the Search Console errors, and occasionally you track your rankings, your traffic, your revenues, hopefully on a per content basis, and you ask yourself those questions. What's working and what's not? That's it. Where to go from here? Thanks for taking this course. I recommend you start. If you're brand new, you really need to hear this. Just start. Start producing content. I know it's terrible. I know it's hard. I know it's going to take you a week to do your first blog post. You get better the more you do it. You write 100 blog posts, you will be so much better. And the time it takes you to produce a piece of content will be a tenth of the time as when you first started. But you need to start in order to get that practice and that experience. Maybe some of you didn't need to hear that, but alas. Continue learning, incredibly important for SEO specifically, just because it changes so often. I recommend going and following some people on Twitter, follow their newsletters, or on their podcast. It'll take you a while to find your people that you really want to follow. Maybe I'm one of them. If so, thank you. But you'll want to kind of stay subscribed to their email list. I really try and make a point to stay following my SEO people, just because SEO changes a lot, and I want to hear that news when it happens. If you want to start niche sites, I will promote my product here, Niche Site Kit. It's basically tools and templates that help you build a niche site just really fast. I give you all my content templates, all my site templates, everything, like the website, like just everything. Makes it easier. Go check that out, nichesitekit.com. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, pete@doyouevenblog.com. I read every email. If you like this course and haven't paid me $3 for the full version and you want to tip me, just say thank you. Go do that right there. I'll link to it right here. There's also some bonus footage for a bunch of different things, actually. But AI tools, researching my low-hanging fruit kind of technique, updating blog posts, that sort of stuff. All that bonus material is in the paid course you go find. Last, if you have feedback on this course, please email me. I would love to hear it. Help me make this better. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. Pete@doyouevenblog.com. That's all I got. I hope you have a lovely day. Happy SEO. Go follow doyouevenblog.com if you want to stay in touch. And we'll see you next time.